Hello and welcome to this episode of Audacity2Lead. In this particular tutorial, I want to walk you through how to create Instagram carousels. And when I say Instagram carousels, you probably have seen them. You may not know what they are called, but of course, you probably are watching these because you have an inkling of, okay, what does this mean? Now, let me show you the three types of carousels that exist, and I'm going to tell you the particular one that we'll be creating in this tutorial. So this is the first type. It's called panoramic type of carousel. Now, panoramic in the sense that the picture moves from one to the other, so there's like continuity with each slide that you are seeing. So it moves from page one, then by the time you are getting to page two, the picture kind of continues. The image you are seeing kind of continues. So let's look at it going forward. Okay, it doesn't repeat itself anymore, but you understand the idea now. So it's more of the type that goes from one page to the other, where your image tends to overlap across 2 pages, 3 pages, depending on what you are designing. That is the panoramic type. The second type is a square type, and this square type usually tends to be more like infographics. That's what you see sometimes when somebody walks you through step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, and here's an example of how that looks like. So this is 1, and then you see this is page 2, this is these, and then this is page 4, this is page 5. You can see that this just continues. There is nothing to link them together in terms of visual syncing, or nothing like that exists. And the third type is a portrait type of carousel, and this portrait type, just like the square type that I just showed you now, this portrait type also sometimes can be linked to each other and sometimes can be unlinked. This portrait type can be panoramic as well as non-panoramic. So let me show you what that means. This portrait type, what you will notice with it is that it is taller, it is higher in height compared to this. So you see this looks this way, the size from up down here compared to this, you see that this is up down, but when you look at the width, you see that this is wider while this is thinner. So you see how it looks like. So this is an example of a portrait type of carousel. Now, the particular type that I'm going to show you in this video is this type that moves from one page to the other. Okay, in maybe subsequent videos, in subsequent tutorials, maybe I'm going to show you how to create this type if you don't already know how to do that, and maybe I'm also going to show you how to do this as well in case you don't already know how to do this. But here's the thing, if you want that, comment down below and let me know that I should create them. So let's jump into how to create Instagram carousels. I needed to lay the foundation first before I jump right in. Here, what I want you to understand is before you start making your carousels, you first of all need to have your content ready. And by content, I mean have your written content ready, the content that will exactly be on the slides that you want to create. So in my own case here, I'm creating 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm creating a 6 slider type of carousel. That is what I'm trying to create here. So in that case, what will now happen will be that if I'm using a particular size, as with Instagram, the size tends to be 1080. So I'm going to now see if I'm going to be creating 6 and I want them linked together. It means I need to create just one element and then now break it down over time. So now I'm going to 1080 times 6. So now this becomes the width of what I am going to create, while 1080 will be the height. So let me create the custom dimensions here. So you can create your custom dimensions from here, or you can simply create from here and choose custom dimensions. Do you get it now? So what is the size that I'm going to work with? I'm working with 6480 in width. So 6480 and then by 1080. That's what I'm using, 6480 by 1080. So I'm going to create a new design now. So you see it looks wide right now. Now, based on what I have here, what I want to do is a square type, right? But it's in panoramic format. I need to now create something that helps me to see where the images can be. So here is one of the things that I found recently on Canva. So one way to quickly divide everything you want to design is to use something like this. So this has 5, this has 4. Remember, I'm creating a 6 page type. So this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let me look for the one that has 6. So this has 6 here, 1 2 3 4 5 6. So I'm just going to click that. It's going to automatically fill it up for me on the pages, properly spaced. Canva just introduced something new which I'm going to show you here, and that is, if you come on that file here, you can choose show rulers. It's going to show rulers just like InDesign, CorelDRAW, Illustrator, how they have rulers. You can click show guides. Now showing guides, this is what the showing guide will be used for. You simply drag and then drop at the center where you have this. So this is going to be page 1. Then you drag again and draw page 2. Now that you've done this, we can now go on and create our design. One other tool that you have Canva is that you can always zoom in. So if I click zoom in here, you see I've zoomed in. So if I click fit, it zooms out back. Then the next thing you want to do is you want to pick your text and bring them. So what I want to be talking about is 4 steps to using podcast to promote and market your business. So first, background. I'm looking at background from here. So I can choose background. This is the background for Audacity2Lead. So that's our primary background. Then I can now begin to change the style for each page so that each page can. So if you want to utilize something like this, you can simply click on this and click on this more information here. So if you click on that, you will see that this is coming from that background. So I can add line. So now it's going to sort out lines that look like that one, or lines that are made by that kind of company or that group. So here are the different lines coming from this particular maker. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick maybe this here. Now I'm going to put this here. So let's say this is here right now. So let me flip it so that it faces downward. Now I'm going to reduce this. So let me bring in my own picture here. Okay, so good. So this is my picture right here. So this is my picture here. So now I can bring this in now, and then I can have this. I can have this here. So first step to using a podcast. So now I'm using B-Bass. I can cut out these 4 steps and then paste it back. This looks a lot more interesting. So I'm going to use remove.bg to take out the background, and right now I'm just going to click paste. So great. So the background has been taken out. So I'm going to go ahead and download, and you can see it right here. So now with this image here, now I can create any effect I want to get. So I have to move the text around now, move it from place to place so that I can rearrange the text to fit. So from here, this shape here now needs to cover that background well. So that's that for this particular. So now I want to put elements in that background, tiny lines that can form that background. So that's that for the first page. So for this page, I can simply alter the colors by introducing a new yellow that is used for the background. This is so as to keep the eyes engaged. Move to step 2. This is the entire timeline. This is the entire panoramic timeline for this entire design. As you can see, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parts to this entire carousel. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply download them. Okay, before I download, one thing that I need to add here is a logo, at least to show where it's coming from. So I'm simply going to bring this and then put it down here. So it's kind of aligned with that page. Then let me take this in, and then let me bring it to 50%. Then let me see the size. So from here I can duplicate this, take it from here to this place. So one thing is the logo has to be aligned in all the different places that's going to show up. So for this logo here will need to be black. This logo cannot be white here because it's not visible, so it has to be black. So let me get the black logo. So the good thing is if you just drag and drop inside the frame, it's going to just replace what is there. So that's one. Then for this, you can simply duplicate this white. I'll simply duplicate this white and then try and move it here, and then you can simply from here bring it down here where it aligns. So alignment is an important element in everything. There has to be a flow to what you give. You have to let the eyes flow towards a particular direction. So it's either the eyes flows towards the center, or everything just flows towards the left or towards the right. You will be the person to decide all of that. And then once it finishes that, it's going to give me the option to download. So now download started. So right now I can type PanoraSplit for Instagram, and I can choose any of these two types. So I'm going to choose this one first, and I'm going to install this one. The app works. Now I'm going to choose photo, allow. So this is the photo right here, and this is the photo right here. So I'm going to choose 6. So now it means it should split into 6. Okay, so it should split into 2, it should split into 3, so split into 4, split into 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 6 is what I created originally. Remember that. So I'm going to simply choose split here. I'm going to click split, and this is how it's going to look like. So you see right now, so as you are swiping, you are seeing it as a panoramic image. So post to Instagram. Okay, so it says photos have been saved to your phone gallery. So now let me switch to my phone gallery and check. So you see, this is it right here. I'm about to post the image to Instagram. So this is how it's going to look like. So you pick 2, pick 3, pick 4, pick 5, and then you pick 6. So if I come here and then I click next, you see it right here. So this is how to use a podcast to promote and market your business. 4 steps. So you see step 2, then you see step 3, and then you see the crossing into each other, and that's the last one. So this is how it works. This is how to create your Instagram carousel using Canva. You can see how interesting it is. I don't use any fancy design, but I still create a fanciful design. So it's all not based on the software you are using. It's majorly based on how well you imagine and use your mind. So I hope this is helpful.